What up, everybody? Welcome to the MWP channel. I'm Fabio, joined tonight by Timmy. At the moment, we had a third, but he must have lost signal or something along the way. I'm sure Kim will be back in the chat soon. But guys, right now, me and Timmy, I guess it's just us. We need some therapy. We've seen a lot of soccer. We got to talk about it, right,
I'm
Tim?
feeling pretty good. I can't complain.
Yeah, listen, if it's just you and me, I think we'll be all right. But
Yeah.
listen, man, just want to plug quickly. If you don't know, Timmy has his own podcast. Check out Various Views podcast. Definitely subscribe right there in his name. We got Kim
Thank you,
back.
guys.
Now we are Marvelous Trio. Kim, how you doing tonight, brother? Or good day to you.
Thank you. Not too bad, thank you.
All right,
here
so-
at work.
Yeah, you're at work. All right, so let's not take too much of your time, brother. But let's kind of go through what have been your thoughts, guys, so far on the World Cup. What you've seen. Let's start with that, Timmy. Overall, how have you feel? What are your thoughts about this World Cup so far?
It's a very, very interesting one, right? A lot of upsets the first round, a lot of underwhelming performances. It's a very strange one. We saw Qatar being the second team not to make it past the group as a host country. I honestly thought that Mexico was going to pull off a tie or win today, and send Argentina packing. Looks like France beat the curse. They won the two games. They're making it out of the group. It's been a very, very kind of strange vibe to it. But yeah, that's my feeling so far, I would say.
Well, after a first round of everybody playing their first game, we're already 2 days in to the first four groups now with their second game. So like you mentioned, France is the only team 100% to have qualified for the next round yet. So interesting. Kim, what have your opinions so far on the World Cup overall so far?
Oh, look, I'm still trying to get used to it. Like, it just doesn't feel right that it's on at this time. Some of the performances have been boring. They'll make you fall asleep. And I don't know if it's just me, but what's going on for this added time? There's been 10 minutes. There's been 7 minutes. I was like, what the hell is that all
very
about?
true. Very true. That's been one of the stories right now coming out of the World Cup. It's just the length of the extra time. Yeah.
Yeah, and also some of the performances by the big teams, especially, have been pretty underwhelming as well. So,
all right, well, that's good because
think.
we're gonna touch on that. Who you think is like the most underwhelming in a little bit, but let's kind of go through and Timmy, I know you've seen one game, but I have a feeling I know who you're gonna go with this one. Let's just kind of focus on who do you think has been the best performance, whether you want to say individual player or team overall so far.
Luckily for me, I would say both my teams that I'm supporting this World Cup. Canada, even though they got a loss, I think they're one of the better, most exciting teams in this World Cup so far. And then it pretty much looked like Brazil. Brazil did the same thing Canada did to Belgium. The only difference is that Brazil was able to finish. Canada wasn't. They missed that penalty shot. Davies, the story was going to happen. I just think he was too nervous. He wanted to do a calm and collective. He couldn't do that against Courtois, man. This guy's a Real Madrid, saver. He's the goalie. He's probably the best goalie in the world. Won a Champions League last year. Like, yeah. You can't do that. This is literally your story. Like, the time for you to shine. This would have been written in history. And you take a penalty like that. Now, granted, in my opinion, they gave it to him. He grabbed it. He said, it's time for me to be the story. It's time for me to be that Canadian hero. This is my time. And he absolutely failed. Now, if it was for the sake of the team winning, you give the ball to Jonathan David, who takes penalty shots for Lille. You don't give it to Davies, right? The guy's buried already.
Yeah, you would think you would give it to your striker to kick the penalty,
But again, I guess the whole team agreed on it. Let Davies have his shine. Let him be, it must have been in the locker room, that they already knew because nobody protested to it.
Let's be honest. He's not the only person, a big name player for their club, or for their country, to have missed a penalty. Obviously, Lewandowski's miss in the first game turned out to be pretty, pretty memorable, at least for him. I know he kind of turned it around a little bit with the second game, but
a few players that take penalty shots in this slow fashion that are successful at doing so. One of them is an ex-Milan player in Frank Kessie. You've never seen Frank Kessie put his boots through a ball, but you've always seen him score. And I would say he's missed maybe 1 or 2 penalty shots. I would like 95%.
I'd say like 8 or 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
like
right. So like,
yeah,
he did that so calm and collective. He's never actually blasted the ball. Another guy's Neymar. When he takes it, he literally looks the other way and puts the ball the other way. It's done, on purpose that way. But
yeah,
just put your laces through it, man. Like, just blast that ball. Give it your all. You're a professional. Like I go out and I score on an 8x10. I can hit a penalty shot with a goalie, granted, with the pressure. But I'm not a professional.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to sit there and take a little shot. I'm going to put my boots through it and with all my power and it's going in, hopefully. But it's just, man, Davies, that game could have been totally different.
Absolutely,
totally different.
I know. As a Canadian, and obviously that you're supporting your country, that game could have turned out, and even
they played so well.
Oh, you forgot Super Mario Balotelli, Timmy.
Balotelli too.
Frank's making a point on the added time experiment was approved by FIFA referee Chief Pierluigi Colonna. Said that the
Pierluigi Collina, the alien-looking guy, the Italian ref from last decade. He looks like an alien. I say.
Oh, the bald-headed guy. He did
big bald-headed guy. Yeah, Pierluigi Collina. Yeah.
He said the fourth official is adding up time for time wasted, so the extra time is reflecting the time being wasted. Frank's always got details and comments.
Frank's the best.
Frank is digging deep in the encyclopedia and Kim, let's ask you, who do you think, whether it's an individual player or the country, who do you think is the best performance that you would take from this World Cup so far?
Tough one. For me, I'd say Cody Gakpo for Netherlands. He's been doing good.
Cody Gakpo is a good one. I know Gio would be loving that comment. I'll tell you that.
Yes. And for nation-wise, I know they've only played one game, but Spain as well, they made a big statement, winning 7-0 to Costa Rica. So
I think because we haven't seen the second Spanish game yet, especially since it's such a big opponent next, that we can kind of look over it. Just like you kind of almost forget that England stomped out Ireland 6-2 the first game because they couldn't get a goal against US.
Exactly.
Iran, I'm sorry.
Iran. Also Brazil too looked good, as Timmy said. And Canada as well.
Brazil has the goal of the tournament so far still.
And the assist by Vinny Jr. It wasn't just a regular cross it was the Trivela, three, right at the outside of the foot, the outside of the boot pass. Nasty goal. And I told everybody, when it comes to the Brazil squad, just talk to Timmy. He knows his stuff. Everybody said, why is Richarlison starting? Here's a quick fact. Richarlison per goal has a way better record than either Gabriel Jesus or the Firmino guy that they forgot out. Richarlison for Brazil is a different animal. These players, you can't judge them.
What they do at Tottenham.
It's what they do at Tottenham. What they do at these like club teams is very different than what they do at the national level. It's different. It's very different for some of these players.
All right, so we've talked about best player, best overall team so far, which I would agree. Obviously, seeing France today, I would lean towards France being the best so far, but we haven't seen Spain's second game. We haven't seen Brazil's second game yet. Just want to do some shout out, a little love here to Ecuador, baby, because they've been looking fire. Best performance, Valencia, man. Guy's playing great, carrying his whole country. So I'm giving Ecuador the shout out for that one because they've looked until, obviously Argentina won today. They look like the second best country in South America. They look way better than Uruguay, and they looked more together than Argentina so far in their
team. So just to give a little bit background on Ecuador. So I said Ecuador would finish second in this group, potentially even first. I even called it out, and nobody believed me. And the reason I say this is that if you look at during the CONMEBOL qualifiers, Ecuador gave the best run to two teams, the top two teams. Brazil, they tied 1-1, and Argentina, they tied 0-0 coming into this World Cup.
Yep.
At the end of the day, that's a better, in my opinion, that's a better, being fourth place or third place in South America is just as good as being probably first in Africa, first in Asia,
Yeah.
So it's
100%. Wasn't Qatar in first in Asia recently?
They won the championship.
Yeah, so
Which
you
is
see
crazy.
how things can quickly change. And
Yeah.
there's been a lot of controversy kind of behind Ecuador as well with this scandal of a player. But it doesn't matter. They're performing when they're supposed to, and that's the most important thing. Before we move on to who we think is like the worst or the biggest disappointment, I want to just get listen, Frank, don't start, all right? Frank's trying to say that just because
There was that little talk
listen,
about that.
Listen, don't worry about that, all right? We just move on for it. Stop it, Frank. You don't have to mention everything. But listen, since we are a Milan channel, let's kind of focus for a second on the Milan players that we've actually seen contribute, all right? And this, if I'm wrong, it's only 4, right? Because Giroud, Theo Hernandez, Leao, and Kia. Because we haven't seen Balotelli, we haven't seen Charles.
CDK.
And why do I feel like there's one more? Anyway,
There is one more. I'm just trying to think what I'm pretty sure there is. I'm drawing blank on it.
Hold on. I have a slide. I'm sure it's here. Where are you, you bastard? Nope, not that one. Let's take this off so I can look for a second. But anyway. Here it is. That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about the
Frank,
American.
Yeah.
So let's
how did you forget about your old boy? Come on.
Because his hair color is so ugly. I don't even want to look at him. But all right, so let's talk. Obviously, we'll start with you, Tim. Who do you think of these guys is the guy that you want to focus on here?
Well, arguably, Theo Hernandez is the greatest left back in the world right now.
I don't think it's arguably anymore. I think it's 100% now.
He is. I posted something earlier that in the last 9 games, he's contributed in goals and assists. He's contributed 7 and 9 as a left back. It sucks that his brother got injured for him to come in. I don't know what France. The problem is Deschamps. Deschamps is not a big attacking left back kind of guy. He prefers guys that kind of sit back. But Hernandez is on fire. Rafael Leao, 5 minutes into the game, scores a goal. Great pass by Bruno. Let those big money talks happen, man. Guys, I hate to say this. I really do.
No, tell me you're not calling for him to be sold.
I unfortunately am calling for both Theo and Leao to be sold.
Theo and Leao?
That's 300. That's 300 million. That's 300 mil right there, guys. 300 mil. Do you know what that means? That's more expensive than our entire squad put together on 2 players. Players. Those can be replaced. I love Theo. I love Leao. I love them. Look, he's calling me right now. But when you look at it, if this is 150 for Leao, 150 for Theo kind of situation, and people are calling guys like Real Madrid, PSG, Chelsea, how do you say no to 300 mil, man?
I don't know. I would probably say I wouldn't get rid of Theo because there's not too many of Theos. It's very hard.
There isn't many right backs and left backs right now in the world.
Very true. That's what I mean.
But
exactly.
Alex has a great
point. I like this one. He said Hernandez is on fire. He will get the respect he deserves globally after the World Cup. And also, Theo's wife and baby are locking him into Milan. He could stay. Leao can go for big money. 100%. And let us not forget, he's wearing the armband right now. So you got to let him stay. No way you can push him out. No way. Or sell
money.
Don't really push him out. Leao might get pushed out because we might not be able to go up to that money. But
I love Leao. I think it's a good idea, though.
Yeah. No, it's not a bad idea. And we'll find out probably within the next couple of months if that's going to be the likely outcome. But Kim, all right, so he picked Theo. Who are you going to single out of the guys? Obviously, it's not so many that you want to talk about from the Milan guys at the World Cup right now.
I'll say Giroud. because I really want him to break the all-time goal scoring record for France, and I think he'll do it next game.
You know what? I love Drew. I would agree 100%. Drew has been playing great, filling in for not Benzema. I was supposed to say Benzema. I got Milan on the brain, but like playing great for Benzema, tying Thierry Henry's record. For me, I just to be different from you guys, I want Leao. I want Leao to be the star of this show. So I hope he gets more time in the second game.
I think he starts next game 100%.
I hope so. But you know what? I also, as a Milan fan, just give him 30 minutes. That's fine. Let's not get him hurt. But just thinking, like, if you have enough depth to just bring in Leao at the 60th minute and let him run riot against tired defenses where he has some of the best players around him trying to feed him the ball or get him into space. I mean, Bruno
Did you
Fernandes,
see the dynamic?
Oh, man.
Did you see the dynamic of what Leao brought to Portugal's team?
Yeah.
Nobody on Portugal has that, shout out to Gio, that dog mentality. He likes to say a lot of things about Leao not having that dog attitude, but he's the only dog on that team. He's the only one going after the defenders, going up to him, doing that typical Leao thing where he just runs around them. No one else was doing that. No one has the balls on Portugal to do that.
He's developing finally into a type of player. Yeah, his game is getting to the next level that he knows right now. He can attack people, and he's more confident trying to do it. So I 100%.
One thing that's great about Leao on Portugal is that he doesn't have to track back. He doesn't have to put in all that 100%. Only when he has the ball.
Yeah.
Right. You got a solid. You got a little. Well, I mean, Portugal is a little disappointing as well.
And Leao are unbelievable together. So like the fact that we have these two dynamic players and our striker who's still 36 years young, as Zlatan would like to say. Zlatan loves Giroud. He's
Benjamin Button.
Yeah, I love it. I love that our two oldest strikers don't come off like they're fighting for the same spot. Like the fact that both of them are still like can be difference makers at their age, and they're both like rooting for each other. I love it as a Milan fan. So I'm happy for Giroud, but I still want Leao to up his worth to like 150, 160 million.
I think
before
so.
the end of this World Cup.
I think so.
All right. So let's move on now from the Milan guys. Let's say worst performance so far, or I guess you could say your biggest disappointment. Timmy, you first.
Argentina first game. Definitely. Germany first game.
Ooh, definitely.
England second game. There's so many. Yeah. Listen, out of all the top name teams, the ones that were the top four to win the World Cup. So you had teams like Brazil, Argentina, Portugal, and France. So far, to me, the only people in those four that actually performed to their top is Brazil and France. Portugal, they kind of got exposed by Ghana. They kind of got exposed.
Club, man.
No, they're terrible. Club. They're last place. They're the last place on the rankings. No, they're terrible. Brazil 2 weeks before the World Cup, full squad, beat them 4-0 and made them look like it was nothing. Right? So this is what I compare it to.
Goal, man. I don't think they're that bad. I think Uruguay looks a little more stagnant so far. I think, when they play each other, it's terrible. There's a lot of bad teams right now. And again, they haven't played their second game, so they could obviously turn it around.
And imagine when next World Cup, when they introduce 48 teams, what we're going to see.
Oh my God.
The quality of soccer is just going to go down.
Qatar is the only club, I think, 100% have been eliminated already. So they're Mexico definitely the worst. Mexico already?
I believe Mexico as well, if I'm not mistaken.
No, because if things work out, they technically could still make it through. They just have to.
They need a win.
They need a win. Yeah, I think Mexico is playing Saudi Arabia next. So technically, if Poland and Argentina tie, or something. I mean, probably the goal differential would be the difference. If Argentina lose to Poland and Mexico beats Saudi Arabia, Mexico jumps them. Right, Argentina and Poland still have to play each other. So there's a lot of crazy stuff that could still. I believe Qatar is the only team that's 100% eliminated already.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard one. So like if Argentina lose and Mexico win,
Yeah,
then
they'll make the second spot.
Poland and Mexico go through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why Qatar, the home country, is the only one eliminated so far. So very interesting. Kim, who do you think is your worst or your biggest disappointment so far from these games?
I'd say so far Croatia.
Yeah, according to Gio, that game was unbearable.
Brutal.
Oh, that was
Brutal.
I fell asleep that game as well. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I
And,
thought that game was terrible, man.
Frank's trying to say we need to add more UEFA squads, which is true.
That's true. There's more teams that are better suited to go.
The fact that Italy's not there is
maybe
very
two more. Maybe two more South American squads, like guys like Colombia that can still bring a little bit better game. Chile, Paraguay, kind of up in the air. So a couple more South American, and then definitely more European. But
well, South America technically could have had a fifth one, but they didn't make it through. I believe, didn't they?
Yeah, they lost. It was who was it that Australia beat? Peru. That's right.
Peru.
Yeah.
So they always get that fifth play-in spot. They just didn't get it, and they only have 12 nations in South America. So it's very surprising that again, that's almost half the damn continent.
The continent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So. But all right, so I would just say that my worst performance so far is obviously damn, I had it and I totally just lost my train of thought. I think like you were saying, Croatia's been pretty bad, but Wales.
Yeah, Wales.
Man,
Wales.
you're not making Wrexham FC look good right now. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Wales looks terrible. Is this Gareth Bale that this was the best they could offer? Because he hasn't done shit.
Yeah.
I
LAFC. He's playing in the MLS. He's not a big club anymore for a reason.
Yeah. No, man.
The
Croatia-Morocco
game was terrible.
Gio said that he had to struggle to stay awake to feed the baby because of this game. It was like he gave him what's that disease where you fall asleep? Epilepsy. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Like you fall asleep. That was Croatia-Morocco. Unbelievable, man. But listen, let's move on to the next thing because there's a lot of do or dies coming, which is really interesting. Just in a couple of days, there are actually not even just a couple of days. Tomorrow, there's huge games with huge implementations. I can't say that word.
Implementations.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I got you.
All right. Tomorrow, right? Let's just talk about tomorrow's game. All right. Tomorrow, we got Spain and Germany, the fucking marquee matchup. And if Germany does not at least draw this game, actually, no, excuse me. They have to fucking win. If they don't win, they are fucked. If they 100%. Because if Spain wins, they qualify. Japan, if they beat Costa Rica, they qualify.
And that's most likely happening.
Costa Rica just came for some drinks and actually not even drinks because you can't get that there. They just came to see the sights and check out the brand new stadiums and stuff like that. Narcolepsy, thank you. That was disease. Then on top of it, Timmy's invested on this one. Canada against Croatia, huge game. That is a must win for the Canadian team because they.
I think we can do it.
If they only grab 1 point, they're in big trouble because if Belgium beats Morocco, they qualify already, and it's just Canada needs to win.
They need to win. Yeah. They need to win.
Alex is saying the marquee matchup is Canada. You're right. If you're Canadian, that's your marquee matchup. But to everybody else in the world,
for sure,
Germany and Spain is the marquee matchup. Poor Navas playing against Costa Rica, man.
I see Spain beating Germany, man. Germany doesn't look that good.
I think so too.
Germany, honestly, everybody, you never count those as Germans, but their team isn't what everybody's. The machines, La Máquina, that's the past, man. I don't see these guys anywhere as close as what they were or when they won. Like, man, I was kind of hoping that we meet Brazil in the semis to give some payback, but if they lose tomorrow, which I do see happening, it's done for them. Like that game's tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah,
because tomorrow we have Group E and F, which is going
yeah,
to be Spain and Germany, Japan and Costa Rica. Then we have Canada, Croatia, and Belgium and Morocco. So
yeah.
Belgium wins, they're through. Then Monday, this is where you probably care the most. Brazil's playing. Who's Brazil playing this time? Are they playing Switzerland or
Switzerland.
Cameroon?
I
All right,
believe
so
it's Switzerland. Yeah,
this is good for the rest of the group because if Serbia or Cameroon don't win their respective games, they are eliminated as well.
yeah.
So if Brazil and Switzerland tie and one of the others could be knocked out if they lose the game. So
Right,
I mean
right.
technically actually no, they wouldn't I guess goal differential, they'd still be alive, but
It's weird,
whoever
but
loses Cameroon
yeah,
and Serbia will be 100% eliminated as well. And then
yeah.
the other section is Portugal. They're taking on they play
You're
Uruguay.
They play Ghana. I think they take Uruguay. Do they
Yeah.
play? I think
No,
they
they
play
play Ghana, right?
Uruguay.
I think
Yeah,
they
yeah.
play
Sorry, they
Uruguay and they
play
play
Uruguay.
South
Yeah,
Korea after. All right,
yeah.
so good games there. South Korea, if they get the 3 points, they'll be obviously if Portugal wins, they're through. There'll be another, and that's really important, man. I mean, it's one of the big clubs everybody's kind of pulling because of all the
I'm
fiasco going with
hoping
Ronaldo and his last World Cup.
very interesting. Well, I'm hoping that Brazil and Portugal finish in the same position in their groups because if not, they meet each other next round.
Ooh, that could be
Yeah,
interesting. That could be
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. And my prediction, personally, I'll say it here. I've said it on my podcast already. I have Brazil Portugal final, so we'll
I
see.
have Brazil France final. That's what I
Yeah,
have. I think
pretty
it's
good
a pretty
possibility. It's a good possibility.
good possibility. Kim.
Yeah.
He disappeared. Well, when Kim comes back, we'll ask him a question.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
how
There he
confident?
is.
Oh, Kim, there he is. All right. Of the games on Monday, man, which one are you identifying as like the game to watch? Brazil, Switzerland.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Brazil, Switzerland for sure. Both got quality teams. Even Switzerland as well. They can cause problems to some other countries, hence Italy as well. When they played us, we see what they can do.
Who do you think is the favorite for you, Kim? Of all the teams that you've seen play so far, who is your favorite? Like that you had maybe even before starting the tournament.
At the start, I had Argentina, but seeing them play, they're not really convincing at the moment. So I'd say Brazil or France between them two.
I feel like people were a little down on France, but Timmy knows. I've had Brazil. I thought Brazil is going to be the best team just because of a lot of points that Tim always makes about like how many substitutes they have, the level of
That's a huge
depth
thing.
that they have. They're just.
Did you see the substitutions? Did you see that?
Yeah,
it was crazy. It's crazy.
Fantastic, man. And
Rafinha
honestly,
comes off. Richarlison comes off. Vinicius Jr. comes off, and then you bring on Anthony, Rodrigo. You bring on what's it called? Fred from Man United. It's just insane. Another big thing
for sure.
Another big actually hurt loss for Brazil is Danilo. He got injured too, so he might not be in the knockout rounds. Now it's either Eder Militão that's going to take up the right back role, or we might see Dani Alves, 40-year-old Dani Alves, coming to make a thing.
Yeah, I thought he was coming just as like probably wouldn't get into the game very much,
No.
but as a older presence just to get the younger guys.
I think the whole thing for Dani Alves is that he's probably arguably, if not one of the best right backs. Him and Cafu, in my opinion. Cafu I gave a little bit more. Lean more towards him.
Marcelo, right?
No. They didn't take him. He's done too. But Dani Alves is still playing, playing. I think he plays in the Mexican league, if I'm not mistaken, or something.
Is he?
Yeah. Oh. But I think they just brought him in the hopes that they win, and they, if they're up huge in the finals, they can give him the armband at the end of the match, and kind of like what they did with Romagnoli at Milan, and say for farewell here, hoist the trophy, and that would make him. That would make him. Cafu still has another one on him, so because Cafu has two to his name.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would arguably probably the best right backs we've ever seen have been Brazilians, right? Back to Carlos Alberto, Cafu, and now Dani Alves, right?
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. Kim, let me ask you a question because I know I'm going to get Timmy's take after this, but Neymar being hurt, you think that affects Brazil chances at all?
No, I don't think so. I mean, look around. They got a lot of quality, and they can bring people off the bench for him.
Yeah.
But when they make the knockouts, he could play a huge part in it when he comes in.
You think so he's not lost for the whole tournament. We just the group stages, right? Just sprained
I'd
his
say
ankle.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Tim, how
Yeah.
big do you think? I mean, do you think it's going to be anything to really worry about for them? They should be able to get through the group stage, right? Without
Yeah. I'm not worried without, man. Even if Neymar was out for the rest of the tournament, it wouldn't be a huge loss to Brazil right now. It does change the tactics. It's just okay. So like you see it. The thing is that Neymar. Okay, everybody hates on Neymar because of his rolling and diving. But do you see how many fouls that guy takes? Did you see his ankle? There's a reason. But it's all part of the game plan. You know what Neymar's there for? To control that ball, make people look stupid. They attack them. They get frustrated. They lose their heads. And that's when Brazil just dominates. If the other team loses their heads, that's when Brazil just dominates the game. Now you take that out of the equation. Brazil just got to play football. The quality's there. We're going to see, Neymar's not going to be starting at the Cam role next 2 games. They're going to put Paquetá there. Worst comes to worst, they drop in a false 9 and they bring in Gabriel Jesus. And just back instead of Richarlison, and then they still have many different options. It's crazy, guys. It's just 5 substitution this year is made for teams with depth.
Brazil.
And teams with depth, in my opinion, are the only 2 teams with depth in this tournament right now is France and Brazil.
Yeah. Listen, France looked damn good, man. I got to tell you one thing. I want to shout out a little love. Griezmann, man, playing in a position that like he's not really as a forward, like a striker, but he's out there distributing the ball, moving the ball around. He looked great today, man. He really made the difference. So I think he's going to keep having a great World Cup for France. But all right, so I think that's pretty much everything so far regarding everything we've seen so much. I have a little bit of a game here, guys. All right, a little bit of a list per se. All right, I want you guys. We're gonna take turns back and forth. Timmy, then Kim. Timmy, then Kim. Right, and you guys are gonna guess who are my top 10 players so far. All right, so as of tonight, Saturday night. Who are the top 10 players according to Fabio in the World Cup 2022? So let me get a little music going here. We're going to have a little music in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Oh, there it goes. Okay. All right. All right, Timmy. So let's go. Let's start it. All right. Top 10 players. Give me your first guess.
Theo Hernandez.
Theo Hernandez. I'll tell you, that is a good guess. But I have to go down my list, my man. Hold on. Let me find him. There he is. Number 9 on the list. Theo
I was going from bottom
Hernandez.
to top.
You're going to listen. That's a good one, man. That is a damn good one. Listen, you could go for the big fish first. It don't matter. But number 9, Theo Hernandez. Hold on. I even did a banner. Let me not waste it and let me get it. Theo Hernandez. Number 9. There it is. All right, Kim. Still got 9 left. Who you got, brother?
I got Enner Valencia.
Ooh, a man after my heart. I love it. Hold on. Let me get him. Number 2. 3 goals. Gotta give this guy props. Of course, he's Ecuadorian, so you know I got him. Number 2, my best players, Enner Valencia. All right, Timmy. Who you got? We got 2 off the board. You guys are doing pretty good so far.
We'll start at the top now. We'll go to Mbappe.
Mbappe. Where do you guys think he is?
Number 1, 3 goals.
Number 1, and you're damn right, baby. Number 1, 3 goals, 1 assist. I mean, I would wish he kind of embraced more of his teammates and not look like it's all about him. But the kid is unbelievable. 23 years old. 4 goals and assists. Contribution, 3 goals, 1 assist. Number 1, Mbappe. Kim, who you got, brother? Who's your next guess? You guys are 3 for 3 so far. Doing good.
Go Leao.
Rafael Leao? No. That's the first strike. Didn't make my top 10. So Kim got the first strike. You guys got 3 strikes. Don't let me down. All right, Timmy, pick up your boy Kim. Who is your next pick?
We'll go back at the bottom. We'll go with Giroud.
He's not that far down, my man.
Oh, okay.
Number 6, Olivier Giroud.
It's got to balance to that. Going back
I
and forth, back
I
and forth.
can't have him too high. There's a lot of great players that I think have had good World Cups so far. So my man Giroud. All right, Kim, redeem yourself, my man. Who do you got next?
All right. We'll go Cody Gakpo.
My man, Pots and Pans. Number 3, Cody Gakpo. That's for my boy Gio. Kids has 2 goals. Been playing great. Wish he didn't score against Ecuador, but unbelievable play by this young kid so far. Cody Gakpo, number 3. All right. Kim redeemed himself. Who you got, Timmy? We still got. Hold on.
What spots do we got left? 5
we
left.
Got number 4. We got
okay.
Number 5.
Stop right there.
7,
number 4 or 5.
8, and 10.
Richarlison, 2 goals, goal of the tournament. He's probably number 4 or 5.
My man, Pots and Pans. He's number 5, and he's only number 5 because we haven't seen what he's going to do in the second game. And why is he number 5? I'll just leave the picture up there to tell the whole story,
What a
baby.
goal, man.
Unbelievable goal. Number 5, Richarlison. I can't pronounce his name. His name is very different. Richarlison?
Yeah.
Richarlison.
Yeah.
There it goes. I'm like adding too many.
You got it.
letters.
No,
All
you're
right,
good. You're good.
5.
You got it.
All right, so number 4 is left, number 7, number 8, and number 10. Kim, who you got on there, brother? You got to unmute yourself.
Tough one. Probably gonna hate it. Maybe Rabiot.
Nope, not on mine. That's number 2. Number 2. All right, Timmy. Pick your boy Kim up. There's a big one at number 4. Come on.
Number 4. So we got Mbappe. Number 2, we had. Who do we have at number 2?
Number 2, Enner Valencia.
Valencia. Number 3, we haven't got. We got number 3.
Yeah, Cody Gakpo.
Cody Gakpo. Number 4,
Gak.
we're at the Gak. We're at number 4. Ah, man. Okay, so I besides Richarlison, I haven't really picked anyone else. I mean,
The chat
no one else from Brazil.
Telling, my man. The chat is telling all the tea right now.
Man, if they're saying Messi, I'm gonna throw that, but I don't even think Messi's in the top 10 because he has 1 goal today, and that's it. He had a terrible performance the first game, but if you have him in your top 10 list, I'll go with Messi, but I personally wouldn't pick him.
All right, well, little do you know, my man is number 4. This guy has 3 goals. That's what I have written down. He's got 1 PK.
3 goals?
And he scored the PK and scored 2 today, didn't he?
No, 1 goal today.
I thought he had 2 goals.
Enzo Fernandez scored the second goal.
You might be right. I must have wrote that down before I thought about it. All right, 2 goals.
2 goals. 2 goals. Fair enough.
He's having pretty good after 2 games, so I give it to Messi.
I don't count PKs as goal.
I agree, but he had a good goal today, so I gave Messi some love there. All right, so there's still 7, 8, and 10. All right, and the chat is telling, my man. Kim, who do you got, brother?
Sorry, I just missed out before.
All right, so he got Lionel Messi. So Messi is off the board at 4. We got 7, 8, and 10 left. Who do you think? And the chat is telling, my man. The chat has it out there.
The chat has it out there. Let me think. Hold on. I don't want to screw this up.
I want to say one that's going to be hilarious, but I'm going to do it.
I don't know. I'd say Taremi for Iran.
You know what? I had him on my list, and I changed him after what happened today. I won't give you an X for that one. That's a pretty good guess. And you know what?
Yeah.
If it was like 20 minutes ago, it would have been number 10. But I've replaced number 10 because somebody made a milestone. And I just say him and this guy, I was struggling who I would go with, but I picked this guy. Maybe because of name recognition, but I digress. Timmy, who do you think it is?
Now, I know the easy answer to go with, but I'm going to throw one out there because they had probably one of the best defensive performances that ever had. And that was the last game for England. Just out of shits and giggles, I'll
No
take the X on
way.
this. I will
No
take the
way.
X on this. I will take the X on this. Harry Maguire. Dude,
No, wait, listen,
people were like,
I-
hey, for England, you know what? He's put in the work. He's put in the work.
Listen,
I know you're not gonna do it, but
this.
shits and giggles.
I didn't put no defenders on this list.
I know you
besides
didn't, but it's
Theo.
fine.
But it's because Theo has goal contributions.
I just
and
did it
this-
as a joke, but I'll take the L on that one.
But special mention: Harry Kane was on the list at first because he had 2 assists, but I just felt like that second game kind of killed him.
Can I
But-
give you my real answer?
Yes.
Saka.
You're damn right, baby. Let's get him on the list. Number 7. Where is he? There he is. Number 7. How do you pronounce his name? Bukayo Saka. from
He's the one that got
Arsenal.
hung by Chiellini in the Euro, if you remember that.
Yes, I do remember. But he played the first game really well. Not so
Solid,
much the second
solid.
game. But the
Yeah.
first game he was really good. So for me,
For
he
sure.
was my number 7. Again, I'm kind of following goals. I'm following assists. Those are how I'm
Yeah.
ranking people that and plus,
for
you know,
sure.
obviously some players only got 1 game so far. But all right, Kim. There's 2 other guys, and one of them again is in the chat. If you look at the chat, YouTube is telling you, my man. They're telling you what the answers are.
Go Lewandowski.
Lewandowski, he was the one I was going back and forth. The fact that he missed the penalty was killing me, but he did make a record today, so I had to put him at number 10. It was him and Taremi, who I was going back and forth with to add them because he had a goal and assist as well. But
What
Lewandowski
record
at
did you
number 10.
hit today? Sorry, I
Oh my
missed
god,
that.
I can't. I remember that it was a record. I saw it I read it. I have no idea what it actually.
Okay,
was.
so if you put another record stat maker there, then there is one guy that has to be on your list, whether or not he only scored a goal by a PK. Is it on your list? Is it
Who?
Mr. Ronaldo?
No, he's not. Wrong.
Come
He's
on, he's the
his teammate.
first player to score in five World Cups.
You know what? That
Okay,
is a
then that makes
great
sense.
stat. But
Yeah,
this is
he
his
is-
teammate.
Yeah, okay. I'll
Alright.
take the X on that one. I'll give it off to Kim.
Kim,
His
can you
teammate.
guess number 8? His teammate. Who do you think?
Zielinski.
No.
What?
That's a good guess.
Wrong teammate.
Wrong teammate. But I'm talking about. Okay, I'll give you number 8 here. Final guy.
Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno
Fernandes.
Fernandes, my number 8. That's my top 10. We got
Good shouts. Good
Lewandowski.
shouts.
Hold on, we'll get over here. Lewandowski. Then we got Theo Hernandez. Then we got Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes like it's a good back and forth. Saka at number 7. Olivier Giroud at number 6. I mean, goal of the tournament so far, number 5. Richarlison, number 4. We gotta skip a picture. There it goes. Oh yeah, that's right. I had Messi up high. Messi 4.
Yeah.
And then hold on, this stupid thing.
I can
Cody
agree with the majority of
Gakpo.
this.
On 3, Valencia 2, and I mean the kid. Timmy, didn't I call it on your show? Didn't I say it? I thought he was going to be the best player, man. Mbappe. Unfortunately, people hate on Mbappe because he's not the greatest of people. The way he seems to like
Because
kind
he's
of
an
throw his weight
baby.
around. He's a baby.
Baby.
Well, when you're 23
Change the
years old,
Mbappe. He's
He's
the
a baby.
baby.
Well, he's making people cry and shit their pants right now. 'Cause
Yeah, he's
France is
talented as
through.
hell, man.
So, a couple of things that I just want to say before we wrap it up here. Brazil, we will see how their depth handles after they get past the group stage. I think the group stage is a very easy group for them.
It is. Yeah.
Do or die for Germany, a team as big as Germany, being bounced out of the group stage so easily to Spain, not a good look. Argentina, if they don't somehow qualify for the next round, that's a real big disappointment for them.
I'm hoping for
And-
that.
Yeah, I know you are. And USA, obviously I'm going to care most about this because this is my country. but USA have to beat Iran. They cannot tie. They cannot lose.
I think they
Otherwise,
will.
the world. I think they will
All
have a
out.
good game. Whether it's enough in the end, Iran seems to be playing well. And then obviously Ecuador, man. Ecuador, I hope does well, and I hope they don't
They're
win
gonna
the
do
group.
it.
If they win the group, I hope USA doesn't even bother making it, because I don't want to have USA Ecuador the first game of the knockout. That would divide my house. I don't want that. All right. They got
Australia.
And Australia, of course. And of
We
course,
just need a win or a draw against Denmark next game, and we're through.
Oh, because you guys have one draw, one win.
One lost, one win.
One loss, one win.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
big game between Australia and Denmark next.
And you know what? Denmark's not. I had Denmark to finish first in this group, basing it on their Euro performance, their even their Nations League performance, their qualification performance. So everything leading to this World Cup, I had so much promise in Denmark.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
I'm still scared.
I don't know, man.
They
put on a good battle.
Yeah, we can put on it. Hopefully, it'll be our first time in round of 16 since 2006 as well.
Tell Tim Cahill to put on, lace up his boots, and come back.
Oh, fuck yeah!
Man, what a name drop, Tim Cahill. Good lord, bring it back.
And Schwarzer and Kalak as well.
Putting out a game all on its own, right? Now it's you just get an update on the regular FIFA. They don't even do that anymore.
Right.
Bring back Kalak, even ex-Milanista.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, how do you feel coming up to Canada's big game tomorrow? Do you feel confident?
Listen, if Canada plays the way they played, so there's two guys that I'm really rooting for on this team. And it's not the big names. It's the guys on the right side, Richie Larea and Buchanan. Those guys are great at doing a certain thing, and that's carrying the ball into the box and getting those penalty draws. Listen, if you look at what happened in that game against Belgium, I kind of feel that Canada got screwed. The same ref that was the ref that caused that whole disaster of blowing the game short in the AFCON.
Yes. Oh my God.
How do you bring this guy? Guys, explain to me, how do you bring this guy to a World Cup stage after that commotion that went on in the AFCON? And missed penalty. Hazard passed the ball back to his defender and they called an offside. And VAR didn't even go look at it. Guys, that literally Hazard passed the ball back to his defender and Buchanan got the ball back and they called him offside and he put out his foot and tripped Buchanan in the box. That was not called. Then there was another one that he stepped on his foot. That was not called. There should have been 3 penalties that game. We got one. We missed one. Who knows what would have happened? But if Canada go out and play the way they did against Belgium, I think they can actually I seen Croatia against Morocco. It was really, really underwhelming. Very, very poor performance from both teams. Canada could beat Croatia. Canada could beat Morocco. It could happen. And one thing I gotta say is that John Herdman, man, the coach is ballsy, man. He said he was gonna go out and kill Croatia, and then Croatia put out a paper with that was ballsy. But you know what? You saw it when they covered up with the Canada leaf, but it was ballsy. But you know what? You know what that does? That lights a fire under these kids. These kids are hungry. They're a united team. And by him saying that,
it didn't light a fire under Croatia, my man. That's what you gotta hope.
Man, I don't think so. I don't think so.
According
Croatia's great.
They're old. They're slow.
Yeah,
it's their time to get bounced.
It's Belgium 2.0.
Listen,
Belgium 2.0.
If Canada takes care of their business, it gets to 3 points. Croatia could be looking that they're going to get bounced. And
Belgium. Alex, pull up that thing, because if he does that, that'll oh man. Herdman needs to do the whole Simeone big ball celebration when if we win. I 100% agree with that. That would be amazing, because they posted him on the paper naked with 2 cats.
I would be definitely playing it up for the camera if my team wins and they're talking shit in the papers. Oh man,
I think that was a good call. I think it was a smart decision by Herdman there to call out Croatia like that. They're gonna go into this game underestimating Canada, which is great, and they lit up a fire under these kids, man. It's going to be a really, really good game tomorrow.
Well, listen, guys, I'm excited, man. Tomorrow we're going to be back at it. As I probably won't be on, but Vinny will definitely be on tomorrow. We're going to do another therapy session right after the Canada game. So definitely, if you're available and want to jump on, any of our Patreon members, obviously, it's always for you guys to jump on and say your part, get a little vent out, because a lot of times when we're watching soccer, especially Milan, we got a lot to vent about after. So. And definitely, if you haven't already, go check out Various Views podcast. You know, Timmy and the rest of the boys are going to be having tons of content about the World Cup. It's a great channel. Definitely follow. And Kim, we always appreciate you, brother, taking time from working and everything. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe channel. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and definitely, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend and check out more stuff with the World Cup, guys. Ovunque and sempre.
Forza Brazil.
Forza
Milan. Forza USA. Forza Canada and Australia. Good night, everybody. Peace out.
Vincerai, non ti lasceremo.